Happy birthday, Kentucky, from Mary's Travel Blog. And today's Kentucky's birthday on June the 1st. So come along with me. Happy birthday, Kentucky. And for the state of Kentucky, this is their Founders Day. Social media or YouTube. Hi, thank you for tuning in to my blog. And today, well, the state's Kentucky's birthday, and we're here to celebrate that here in Kentucky. So come along with me.
When a father would go off and fight, he had a son in that age group that could play. He would go with his father to be the fifer and drummer. Also, families back then were much larger, so you had a lot of sons. You had older sons that would go off to fight. If there was a younger son who was too young to fight, he would go off with his brothers and be the fifer and drummer for them as well. Now, what I'm wearing, you're probably thinking I'm dressed as a British. I'm not. I'm dressed as an American musician. Musicians wore contrasting colors to the soldiers on their side. So since the Americans predominantly wore blue, the musicians would predominantly wear red. The reason is we needed to stick out for a couple of reasons. One, we were non-combatants, so we're not supposed to be shot. They would get shot, they would get killed, but they're not supposed to be harmed. The other reason is we're wake up tune. The thing about this tune is you would think it would have a lot of urgency, kind of have some energy, kind of frantic. It doesn't. It just kind of sounds like a regular tune, but they knew what it was. Okay, so everybody hearing that tune would know, grab your weapons, line up, get ready to fight.
Just for fun.
Do it again.
Kundo iya voda magbolo dadaba minami chobereji. Kundo iya voda magboye chobereji. Kundo iya voda magbolo dadaba minami chobereji. Magboye chobereji. Nyafava dada uga yavae. Nyina vawagi. Nyafava fufu ga yavalu. Nyina vawagi. Mideso, mideso, mideso. Minyava, minyava, minyava. Kundo ye wuda mabohi. Mito bere. Odorio. Odorio. Yahweh, me bona feyama, to me down, Odo. 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 Lele, Yahweh, me bona feyama, to me down, Odo. Odorio. Yahweh, me bona feyama, to me down, Odo. Yahweh, me bona feyama, Yahweh, me bona feyama, to me down, Odo.
Firearms.
Firearms, okay. American Revolution.
Just did the pipe and drum, so I'm
Okay.
I am missing the 75 caliber. I haven't been able to get a 75 caliber, but that's basic calibers that would have been used. This first one here is called the Brown Bess.
Brown vest.
It was the standard issue firearm for the British. It was first introduced in 1722. They used it for 116 years. It's the longest serving military weapon in history of the modern armies. It's also the first standardized manufacturing, meaning that all the parts were interchangeable. The part from one Brown Bess would fit another one. It's the first time they did that for the military. It is, the British government loved it because they were cheap and quick to make. It's a smooth bore, which means it doesn't have any rifling. Most of them were 75 caliber, which is a large ball. So for a pound of lead, the 75 caliber, you're going to get 11 shots. So lead's heavy, you got to buy it, you got the gunpowder to shoot it, so that is a little costly, which the British government didn't like. Governments don't change, they like to do things cheaply as possible. So what they did is they did the bayonet. The standard practice for the British Army was to shoot 3 times fixed bayonets and charge. The British Army were very good at bayonet charges. They were the best in the world. There wasn't any really army at that time that could stand up to a British bayonet charge. But these were fairly inaccurate. The British soldiers really didn't aim these. They just kind of pointed in the general direction. They're standing shoulder to shoulder. The idea being send a wall of lead downfield and hopefully you hit somebody. So you wouldn't really start shooting at anybody with this until they're about 50, 60 yards away. This is a Fowler. These were common in Europe and North America. This is a fairly economic firearm for somebody. It is a civilian firearm. It wasn't built for military purposes. If you could only afford one firearm, this is what you would buy because it's versatile. You can load it with shot, like a shotgun, so you can use it for hunting birds, small animals, or you can load it with a solid ball and shoot like deer. It does have sights, which the brown bass didn't have. It's more accurate. You can probably go out to 100 yards and be fairly safe, and it still is a smooth bore. The militia, when they went off the fight, if they had one of these, they would have brought it with them. The problem is you can't use a bayonet on this because the wood stock comes up to the muzzle, plus there's no furniture around the muzzle that you can lock on a bayonet.
Furniture?
Yeah, the fixed theme on it.
Okay, different than what I think of. Okay.
No. So,
okay.
they did have what they called a plug bayonet, which is basically a knife with a tapered handle on it, and they could stick it down the barrel. The problem with that is once you stick it in the barrel, you can't shoot it anymore.
Okay.
Plus, when they do a bayonet charge, they did have a habit of falling out, which would make the whole purpose of the bayonet charge kind of mute. Plus, if you stuck it in there really tight, you'd have a hard time getting it out. Now, this and the brown bass are smooth bores. Black powder leaves a lot of messy residue in the barrel when you shoot it. So these two are still going to be pretty easy to load because they are smooth. This is a Pennsylvania long rifle. It's made by German gunsmiths in Pennsylvania. The German gunsmiths were by far...
Like the Amish? Or?
Well, no.
Okay, I know Amish don't use that.
They would be the people we refer to as the Pennsylvania Dutch.
Okay.
They're actually Germans. But the German word for German is Deutsch.
Yeah, I do get that confused.
So anyway, the German gunsmiths were like top-notch gun makers at that time. This one is fairly ornate. They consider them to be almost like works of art. A lot of carvings, a lot of brass work. Not all the long rifles would have had this. It really depended on how much you wanted to pay for one. This is a rifle, which means it has rifling in the barrel. It's got the grooves and spiral. This, again, it's built for civilian purposes, but again, if you had one of these going off to fight in the Revolutionary War, you would have brought this with you. There's no way you can use a bayonet with this. There's no way to do it, not even a plug bayonet, because it would mess up your rifling. However, this is a very accurate weapon for the time. Anybody worth their salt as far as marksmanship could hit a man-sized target up to 200 yards, and there are accounts of American sharpshooters hitting British officers at 400 yards. So it's very accurate, long range. The problem with this is you don't want anybody getting in close to you because this can take a long time to reload. On this particular weapon, after the third or fourth shot, when I'm reloading, because of the buildup of residue inside, it's really hard for me to load, and it takes a lot longer. So the time to load increases as you go along with that. Now, any one of these you could run out of powder, it could break, it could quit firing. So for the militia, the common backup weapon that you would go to would be the tomahawk.
Tomahawk? Okay, I call it an axe, but...
This is a tomahawk.
Tomahawk.
Axe is for chopping wood, this is for fighting. It's a lighter head. If you actually got an axe up here, it'd be different. You see the difference. You don't throw these. If you throw it, you basically disarm yourself. So it's mainly made for hand-to-hand combat. The only account I've ever came across of somebody throwing one was a Native American during a raid, and he threw it at someone he was chasing. And he already had the person on the run, so he didn't have to worry about that. But I also figure he may have had a war club with him as well, so he wasn't disarming himself. I do carry a scalping knife. This is not a weapon, this is a utilitarian tool. So if I have to use this for defense in a battle, I'm in trouble. I don't want to have to get to the point where this is the only thing I got left to defend myself. It's mainly a tool. Now, I talked a little bit about gunsmiths in North America. North America had its gunsmiths. We could make our own firearms. You needed three other things to shoot one. You need flint, you need lead, and you need gunpowder. There were lead mines in the colonies. Virginia had some pretty good lead mines in the western part of the state. The British tried to capture them a couple times, but we knew how important they were, so they were well defended, and the British never were able to capture them. Gunpowder, if you know how to make it, it's pretty easy to make. We had several gunpowder manufacturers throughout the colonies. The weak link in the whole process is the flint. North American flint is not good for this, so it had to be imported. British gray flint's considered the best. Even today for reenactors, they like the British gray flint. French amber flint is the next best for that. So at the time of the Revolutionary colonial period, ships, merchant ships coming to the colonies, they'd have barrels of flint and they'd put them in the bottom of the ship and use them as ballast to help balance the ship while sailing. And then when they get to the colonies, they could sell the flint. Well, when the trouble started in Boston, the British officials, they passed a law that all the ships had to anchor a mile off outside of Boston and be inspected before they were allowed in the harbor. And what they would do is they would inspect the ships, and if they had flint, they would throw it overboard. And so that is the first incident of attempted gun control in North America. Now the Americans, whenever they captured a ship, one of the first things they would do is get the manifest of the ship, see what they're carrying, and they would look for flint.
Okay.
Things can be dry and readily available. So I've got some fat wood. The fat wood, all this is the core, the center of pine branches. And it's full of resin. The same thing.
On it, I said, yeah, I'll take there, put that pinstripe on all the way down there, cut that half moon out, and then the other guy said, you want your name on it? I said, well, sure. He goes and tap and put my name on it. So I mean, yeah, I paid him $500. I didn't.
Yeah, while you cook your dinner. Cooking up the dinner.
Oh, left and 10. Okay.
Left hand, you know, 32 left hand.
Oh boy, the Yankees are back in town. Oh, well, the little portable cannon there.
Mortar.
Mortar.
Designed for siege use. Well, most cannons fire like this is designed to go up and over the wall.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And the dock is in town. Now, I think the old Capitol building is open, so I think I'm going to go in and explore it. Why not? Come along with me. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Now, this is a self-guided tour, and today I'm starting in the front, and we're going to the library. Whoops. And my oh my, ancient books. And I have to admit, I kind of like this flooring, or the checker flooring. And what great grand staircase. This might have been our big doors back in the day. And this is history of them. Should we stay or should we go? Of course, we stayed with the Union, and Kentucky was neutral during the Civil War. And my, what a chandelier that is. Over here, and Henry Clay Sr. Yeah, I kind of like this grandeur of a staircase. And now I'm going to go up the stairs. And up there we get the House and Senate chambers. And inside the dome. And this right here, I believe, is the Senate. And look at the gallery. Look like church views. And in this room, well, I'm not sure what this room was used for. Frankfurt mirror.
Civil War. And so we got maps here, and we do a lot of what we call investigation stations, so the kids can
Cloakroom.
There's one downstairs in that room I can show you. The governor's desk is down
I think the House of Representatives. George Washington, Daniel Boone, and two other state capitol buildings. And look at the gallery up there.
Is someone here with the W9s yet?
Megan has them across in Central.
This, my friends, in the old Capitol, this is called the Supreme Court. And of course, this is the old Capitol here in Frankfort, Kentucky. And not too much more of this festival left. And a glorious day today.
And now let's take it like they would back then.
And of course, this is Frankfort, Kentucky. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up.
Richmond Battlefield for Father's Day.
Older son, you like.
And statue of Governor Goebel, shot on his inauguration day.
Yeah, I put them in this end like this. See, they go in there. This made out of poplar bark.
It's very I like how you do that.
Well, thank you. But yeah, you could play these. You could play like Amazing Grace.
Art, gourds, and some soap. I like that kind of stuff. All made by hand. Smells like a banana bread.
No, that's because I'm eating a banana.
Oh, okay. How much is the soap here? It's $8 each or 3 for $20.
And I have a few on sale for $5.
Okay. Please.
Experiment, that's clear.
Can on.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna see what else we got here for.
I can off. Because I'm Sony. I got mine too. I was a full-time teacher, and of course, in the pandemic, the private school that I was teaching had to shut down for in-person.
Okay. And do you have a business card?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'd grab you one.
Okay. Link up your. I'm trying to link as many business cards as I can. You know.
I appreciate you.
I'm not kind of fairly. I mean, I've had my YouTube channel for a couple of years now, but it's a hobby. And let's see.
Yeah, send that to me. Do you have a card?
Oh, I just gave you one.
Oh, yeah. It's in my pocket.
Here's my channel.
Thanks for spooning, y'all. Come back and see me.
Now, there it is.
What's your hat say? Cool.
Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to look for some Kentucky-made crafts here. So.
Mary's Travel Blog.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you from here?
Yes, I live here. I eventually go more international, and that's what I'm trying to do, you know?
Yeah. You build from somewhere. So
right.
I'm with you.
Yes, okay.
When I get home, I will make sure I send you a follow.
Okay, okay, what kind of wood are these made from?
Cherry wood.
Oh, boy.
All of them.
Everything.
These are even cherry.
Okay, I was about to say one because of the dark stain. Okay.
Yeah, so this one is ebonite.
Are these like salad tongs mainly?
They are.
Okay, how much are these?
Oh, they're $45 per set.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know. Okay. These are. It looks like a snake spoon to me. I know.
It's a French sipping spoon.
French sipping spoon. Okay.
Yeah, so you dip the small end and then you let it all slide to the big end and then you can sip it and then it cools the liquid down before it gets to your lips.
Okay. So you just buy wood.
Yes, ma'am. Just whatever I can think of in the kitchen that I need to do, I'm trying to make it, and then if I like it, then I make some more of them.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay. And those guitars, okay, or spoon guitars.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Guitar spoons.
Only one that it grows on that because Bucky's usually sets out they build.
No, maybe I'm gonna take a picture of this guy.
Okay. Hey. Oops.
Supposedly, it's the biggest one in the world right now. So you go to it and like the one, I mean, even the one.
I am. I'm Attorney Lincoln, not President Lincoln.
There we go. And church cards.